I'm here today out in my storage room and I'm standing in the corner. It's quite a low ceiling here. I'm almost hitting my head. As I was cleaning out our storage room, I came across some items that I had had to re-buy because I threw them out, and then I realized that we needed them or that they weren't really mine to throw away, and so I had to re-buy them. And I also came across some things that I was missing that I thought I'd kept and apparently I got rid of. And so I thought I might talk a little bit about what happens when you regret something that you decluttered. I threw away some original pieces of trim. There's like baseboard trim and around the window trim that was original to one of the houses. And the houses are really old. They're from the 1700s, the end of the 1700s. And so it's not really like I can just go out and replace that. And I didn't have a lot of it. I just had maybe pieces that were a couple feet long. And so at the time, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And we needed to make space to keep some other building supplies. So I can't replace those and I can't get them back because I burnt them up. And when I realized that I wanted to put them on this wall and that I didn't have them anymore, you kind of get this ucky feeling in your tummy. You're just like, ugh. But in the grand scheme of things, this is just one thing that I miss decluttering out of hundreds of things. So the ratio of things that I regret to the things that I'm glad that I got rid of is a pretty good ratio. This isn't anything I can do anything about. I just need to, I guess, forgive myself and move on and find some other fun things to put on this scrapwood wall instead. And maybe I can learn a lesson from this, that next time if I find something that's original to the house, maybe I want to hold on to it because it could be fun to use in a decorative way, even if we can't actually use it around the windows or the doors because there isn't enough of it. So I'm trying to learn lessons from things instead of being down about it or just going around feeling like, ugh, why did I do that? It's like, that's not helpful to me or to anyone else. Another thing that I decluttered was a fan that I found out wasn't mine and I had to rebuy it. And there's actually more than one of those fans that I got rid of. And then another thing I was missing the other day was a sweatshirt that I suddenly realized, oh, I could use that when I'm working. And I mean, it wasn't a favorite sweatshirt, but it could have been useful now. And at the time, I didn't think it was useful at all. And most of this stuff is replaceable. It's not the end of the world, but I still kind of get this like ucky feeling when I realize that I threw something out that I could use. And I think it might be because when I grew up, I didn't have a lot of, well, I had probably too many things because we didn't have a lot of money. And so I didn't know when I was going to get a new thing. And so I just sort of kept everything, even clothes that I didn't even want to wear. But it was just sort of like I had to have this huge pile of just in case items because I didn't know when I was going to get something new. So I kind of think that mentality sort of followed me into adulthood. And I kind of have to like rethink why I get upset about things that I've decluttered that I have to rebuy, or because I didn't really actually need it, but maybe I could have had it just in case. And I kind of have to rethink and sort of just take a new a new mental approach to things in general, that my security doesn't lie in having a whole bunch of just in case items. My security lies in, well, I would say in my faith partly, but also in knowing that I have friends and family around me that I can turn to if something happened and we had a huge crisis. I don't have to turn to a pile of stuff. So you can follow me into the storage room that I've been decluttering, and we can look at some of the stuff that I decluttered that I shouldn't have. I've been working on a declutter in the storage room for several weeks now, and I'm still not done. And it's taking me forever, and it's rather frustrating, but I've never really done a complete declutter in the storage room. So as you can see, there's just stuff everywhere. And some of this stuff is stuff that's on eBay, and I just waiting for it to get sold or waiting to send it. And a lot of the stuff in this room is like going to go on eBay. But then I have a lot of stuff here that shouldn't be here at all, honestly. But and continuing here, I've been promising myself to open every box in the storage room and to take everything out of it, because I did not realize how much stuff was in these boxes that I thought I had to keep. And I realized I don't have to keep half the stuff in most of the boxes. And I just never opened them before because I thought I knew what was inside, but I'm finding out that I don't know what's inside. So I found all these Lego boxes, and some my kids really want me to keep. So we're going to have a discussion about what's getting sold, because some of it they don't play with anymore and what they really want to keep. But I've been promising myself I'm not going to stop decluttering here until I get through everything really thoroughly and go through every single box and make decisions about all the hard stuff and make decisions about the sentimental things that are in the storage room too. So in this box, this can actually get decluttered. My daughter wanted to have this in her room, but she found a new lamp at a secondhand store that she likes better, so we don't actually need that. These are for the lamps in our living room. I've been painting, and so I took them away. But other than that, it's these lamps that I decluttered. And I know this might seem kind of silly that it was a big deal, and they weren't very big. And at the time, we'd kind of had a cold summer. And so I was just like, we don't need these. And I just sort of like threw them out without thinking. And then my son, the next summer when it got hot, he was like, where's my fan? And I had to go and buy him another fan. And then we ended up buying, there's 3 of them in here, I think, a couple more because we actually used them when we went on vacation. And like, this is our air conditioning. We don't have any air conditioning in the house that we live or in the house that my husband's parents own that we call a summer house, vacation home that they own. It doesn't have air conditioning either because in Sweden, most of the time you don't really need it. So this is our air conditioning, and we even take these on vacation. So that is why they're sitting in my storage room. And this one we usually have in our house in the summer because our upstairs can get a little bit warm. But, I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I just had to go out and re-buy these. And, I mean, they maybe cost me $10 each. So, this was a $30 mistake, I guess. But, I'm trying to make sure that I learn something from it and that I don't declutter things that aren't mine. And at the time, I didn't even realize that the fan wasn't mine and that it was my son's. But it sort of made me be more aware of if I don't have permission from other family members to throw stuff out, that I need to be careful. And the foggy area there is sometimes I do help the kids get rid of stuff that they haven't touched in 6 months or a year. And I know that they don't play with it and that they don't miss it. And usually then I'll do a thing where I will take it out to the storage room and I'll leave it here for 3 months. And if they ask for something, then they get it back. And if they don't ask for anything, then I get rid of it. But I give myself and them this like grace period of about 3 months. To make sure that I'm not making a big mistake. So that was one thing. And then, as you can see, like I did find some more trim. A lot of the stuff up here I need to reorganize as building supplies. And I know these windows look really bad, but the idea is to put them in some outbuildings after we renovate them a little bit. And I did find some more pieces of trim. This one really needs to get cleaned up, but you can kind of see here. These are original pieces of trim to the house, and the one that I found was a piece of baseboard trim, and I can't find any more of those, but I was happy to find there's at least 4 pieces of this that I can use either on my scrapwood wall or around a different window if I want. And the problem is here that we have lots of birds that keep getting into the storage room, and so we have to like kind of come and help them get out sometimes, and they poop on things. And so a lot of the windowsills and stuff are just gross and they might just need to get replaced or scrubbed really well and painted, because I don't think we can save them in the state that they are, that they don't have any varnish or anything on them. But so I mean, like, even though I can't replace the piece of baseboard that I threw out that had a different pattern on it, I mean, I did find some other stuff that is comparable in the storage room when I was doing my declutter here. So you might be able to see some of the stuff behind me here. I've just been working a lot on decluttering, and as you can see, there's just stuff everywhere, and I'm seriously not done. But I've been doing my best out here, and it's been really good to realize that I don't need as much stuff out here as I thought, and it's really freeing to get rid of a lot of things. So I'm just trying to make sure that when I find these things that I realize that I made a mistake with, that I take a step back and I learn a lesson from it, and so that I don't keep doing the same thing and then getting this like, oh, that was really annoying and I'm upset with myself sort of feeling, because that doesn't help me declutter more. That just gives me a big setback. And so I'm just trying to learn that it's the best thing is to get permission from other people. Like my husband gave me permission to declutter stuff that's from his childhood. And there's a few things that I just need to ask him about. I wouldn't ever just throw it out without asking. But in general, he said that I could just get rid of stuff that I knew that he wasn't using or hadn't touched in a year. And so that's been really helpful. And then I just try to double check with my kids. Sometimes if there's something I want them to get rid of, I can buy it from them or like help them put it on eBay so they can sell it and they'll get a little bit of money out of it. And then that way it helps them let go. But I mean, stuff when I've like gotten rid of a sweatshirt that I was like, man, I could have used that today. I just sort of give myself permission to go out and buy another sweatshirt if I really need one. And a lot of the times when I think about it, I have something else in my wardrobe that I can use instead. That wasn't such a big deal. But I mean, like sometimes like I've gotten rid of like Christmas decorations or something that I've wished that I had the year after. And I still have plenty of stuff. It's just that one thing that we always had wasn't there anymore. And sometimes that can make you feel sad that it was much easier to get all the decorations out and that it was easier to pack them up and stuff when I didn't have so many of them. That sort of helps me let go of that thought that I was sad about not having something. And in the end, we always end up getting new things, and we have some stuff coming into our house all the time. Even if we try our very best to like stop the flow of stuff in, there will still be some things that are coming into our homes. Think about that. Then sometimes it's better just to like err on the side of getting rid of more stuff and declutter again every once in a while. I try to do like a yearly declutter where I just do a quick declutter. So this huge storage room project is something kind of different for me. I've decluttered in here before to like make room for other stuff that I decluttered from the house or that the kids grew out of but my other child would need, and I just needed to put it somewhere for a while. But this is seriously like I'm trying to get through every single thing in the storage room so that I don't have stuff sitting around here that I don't know what it is or I didn't know that it was there, or building supplies mixed in with other stuff from our house that I don't know that where they are when I need them. So sometimes like I wish I could just get rid of everything and just start over, just throw it all out and just feel that it's nice not to have so much junk and then just to buy stuff as I need it. Unfortunately, I'm not really that sort of person. So I'm still on this journey of getting rid of stuff, and I'm trying to do it as fast as I can, but sometimes I just kind of need to slow down and I'll put on a podcast or listen to music and just enjoy the time that I'm having to myself in the storage room and just sort of take some of the time as me time instead of like doing something else. I'll have some relaxing time as I make decisions about stuff in boxes that I haven't seen for the last 15 years probably, which is kind of insane. If I haven't seen it for that long, I probably don't really need it anymore. Anyway, this is kind of what it looks like so far, which it's really embarrassing, honestly. I guess my main takeaway here is that give yourself some grace. We are all going to make mistakes, and we're all going to have those moments where we feel like this bad feeling in our stomachs, and we're like, why did I get rid of that? Or that somebody else, like my son, was frustrated with us because we got rid of something that we shouldn't have, or that someone else in our family or another relative might be frustrated with us because we got rid of something that they didn't want us to. In the end, I could go out and buy another fan and it really wasn't that big of a deal. I suppose that if you got rid of a lot of sentimental items without asking any of your other extended family, maybe somebody else could be frustrated with me or you. I do try to ask my husband's brothers and sisters before I get rid of stuff that I know was in his family and make sure that it's okay with my husband. But other than that, I mean, most of the people that I know don't really need more stuff, so I've been driving lots of things to the Red Cross. My husband is really happy that I'm decluttering, and so for him, like, if I were accidentally to throw something out, he really wouldn't care in the long run because he just feels like it's so much better not to have all this junk around. My son forgave me, and I bought him a new fan, and it really wasn't a big deal. So the main thing is that I feel like sometimes you have to forgive yourself, allow yourself some grace, because we're hardest on ourselves if we're going to be honest. And just allow yourself some grace and allow yourself a little financial wiggle room that you can go out and rebuy something if it's under $20 and you got rid of it, that it's okay. We'll just go out and get a new sweatshirt that we like better than the other sweatshirt, or we'll go out and buy another $10 fan because that was stupid to get rid of the fan that we actually use. So give yourself some grace. And then, like I said, I kind of have to remind myself to just think twice if it's sentimental items, that I'm not getting rid of stuff that other people want, or getting rid of things that belong in my old house that were original to the house and I can't replace them. So that sort of thing, you might need to think twice, but sometimes in the end, we really can't keep everything, even if we would like to. I think we just don't have the space, or I'm really tired of all the time and energy that decluttering the storage room is taking away from doing other things and spending time with my children and my husband. Really happy that I'm at least a good bit on my way here. I mean, this is still terrible and I still have a long ways to go, but if you had seen it beforehand, it was worse. I promise. It was way worse. So maybe I'm about halfway there at this point is my guess. And I'm glad that I've gotten that far. I've never gotten that far in the storage room before. So I'm still out here working in the storage room, but if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And and if you're in the middle of your decluttering journey, then go ahead and subscribe and we can go on this journey together. If you like this video, go ahead and check out the other videos on my channel, videos about decluttering and simple living. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Bye.